Hi everyone, this is Sylvan from Sylvan's Way, and today I want to show you the Bonefire Tarot. Now the reason that I chose this tarot to show you today is because today is July 3rd and tomorrow is July 4th, and to me this screams, summertime, and so I thought that it would be the perfect kind of deck to look at during summertime and the day before 4th of July. Now, this is the second edition of this particular deck, and you can still get the first edition. I was looking it up on Amazon, and I noticed that the first edition is still out there. And there is some differences between the cards, and so we'll talk about that when we get to the cards. But if you're interested in the first edition of this deck, I think you can still get it out on Amazon. So this is the Bonefire Tarot by Gabi Angus-West, and this is the mass market deck created by REDFeather. So easily accessible. It comes in this really nice hardcover magnetic flap box, and on the inside it has this beautiful fire looking insert on the front back inside of the lip. On the back of it we have some information. It says, roused by old school tattoo flash and outsider art, Bonefire Tarot 2nd edition brings you 78 energetic hand-painted tarot cards along with a cozy fireside companion book, including a comprehensive glossary of symbols, 3 sample spreads, a descriptive essay to guide you. This set dangles the fruits of internal truth just within reach, ripe and waiting to be gathered. So that's kind of a fun write-up. Let's take a look at what's inside the box. Like we said, we have some fire here, and then we have this great big book and the cards. And there's no ribbon to pop these out, so you just kind of have to reach in there and grab them out of there. As far as the packaging, it comes with this insert. It is glued in, so it doesn't come out, which is nice. It is a little fragile. Notice that mine is already starting to rip, and I haven't really had this but a couple of months. So just a FYI, that's the box. These are the cards, which of course I put down upside down. And then this is the guidebook. So let's take a look at the guidebook, because I am a guidebook lover, and look at how nice and chunky this guidebook is. So let's see what's in this guidebook. So this deck was created in 2023. Gives you a little quote here in the front, and we have a nice contents. It looks like we have Chapter 1 is about the tattoo and the tarot. Chapter 2 is a few words on the artistic process, which is, I love that. I always love learning about how decks are created. Chapter 3, at last the handbook begins. Part 2, we go over the major arcana. And then part 3, we have the minor arcana. And then the different suits. And then part 4, reading the tarot, bonfire spreads. Before I go, a warning, we got some glossary, interesting bones for further listening and research, thank yous and credits, and about the artist. So a nice full guidebook here. So let's take a look at some of the information in here. A warm welcome with the introduction. And then tarot and tattoo and the tarot. So it says the artistic style of Bonefire Tarot is very influenced by the traditional tattoo style of such legends as Sailor Jerry Collin, whose work transcended his era of mid-20th century and endures in the classic vintage style, so elegantly encapsulated in this rockabilly pinup girl image, which assumes the evocative yet timeless quality of a bygone era. And then she talks about painting and how she started making it and the creative process of how she does it, how she created the images. And look, it's really nice and long, so it's a good little read. This is definitely a book that I would take up to bed with me at night and sit there and read it, because I like to read entire guidebooks. A few words on the artistic process. The original artworks are rendered on deep canvases and have symbols and imagery painted on the left and right edges. The top edges read Bonefire Tarot, and the bottoms some basic card meanings. These small 8 by 10 inch pieces are rather appealing objects. These paintings are varnished to a high gloss, which make the colors sing more loudly, but caused a reflective nightmare when scanning the paintings. I chose a matte laminate finish for the printed cards, in search of the classic satin touch finish of my grandmother's cloth boxed bridge decks to avoid stickiness or gaudiness. And then she goes into more detail on that. So I love all of this information that is included so far. Then the handbook, what becomes of the bonfire. Wow, lots of information. Like this little, it looks like there was some sort of interview that was done. So where some questions were asked and answered. I haven't read this book yet, so I can't give details, but I will hopefully have it read by the end of summer. And then we go into the major arcana and then about reversals. So once that information is done, we go into all of the individual cards. And it looks like for each card, she gives you basic information, like a little blurb about it, details about what the card images are. And it looks like it's quite a bit of information. And then the divinational meaning at the end of it. There's a quote from Benjamin Franklin, and then there's some symbols. It talks about the symbols that you find on the card itself. So it says bonfire, dog, mountain, Uberos, sunrise, white rose. So if we were to look closer at the card itself, we're going to find the bonfire down here. We have the rose over here, the dog that's in the image. So these are the significant items that she included to create this particular image for the Fool. So I think that is super awesome. And she does that for each one of the cards, even into the minors. So we have it in the minors, and let's flip all the way to the back and see what we have back here on the back end of it. So read in the tarot. So we have some information about how to read the tarot. And then here are the spreads, the Wooden Eyes 1 card wonder, the Beltane 3 card spread, where she has winter, which is past, spring, which is present, and summer, which is future. Then we have the 8 card enlightener. So we have reborn, spark, warmth, light, cross, bones, burnt, and ashes. So, ooh, I'm really looking forward to doing that spread. That looks really cool. And then she has some more information and wisdom of insight here. We have a warning, and then glossary. Ooh, this is awesome right here. This is going to tell us what those key items are. So whenever those symbols, so cherry blossom, red door, roses. So you could go back here to the glossary and you could look it up. So cherry blossom, Chinese good luck, Japanese self-sacrifice, fate. So this is pretty awesome. So you can continue to do some, you have to flip back and forth, but it's totally worth it, because why would you have to write this on every single card? But anyway, so I really like this. So it tells you why these pieces of art have these reoccurring symbols in them, and this is what the symbols mean according to this deck that she created. So I love that. That's fantastic. Let's see if we got anything else interesting bones for further listening and research. So these are things that you can listen to. And then this is literature that you can read. And then this is about her. So that's pretty awesome. That is a good book. There is a lot of good information in this book. I just love tarot so much, and being able to do these deep dives. I don't know if you've been watching my channel for very long, but you'll notice I always seem to choose decks that come with big guidebooks, so that it seems like I have to do a deep dive on every single tarot deck that I have. Anyway, so let's talk about these cards. Now, these cards are different than the first edition. So the first edition are larger cards with a black border around them, and they're a little shinier. I think they're like a semi-gloss color. These cards are smaller. They're more of a square than a rectangle, and they're matte finish. So I actually prefer the second edition because I feel like the images really pop without having the black border. But I know that I've seen some other reviews of this deck and they love the black border, so they actually prefer the first edition. So I'm really happy that you still have that choice out there, that you can choose either one, because both are still available. Like I said, I looked them up on Amazon and I was able to find both versions of it. For the second edition, this cardstock is a thicker cardstock. Notice it's a little bit of a chunky deck, and but it feels nice. That matte finish does feel nice. This is the edges, so this is a gilding, so it's a nice matte red, and then this is the back, so they can be actually read in reversals. Now, I don't use reversals, but you could definitely read with reversals in this. So let's take a look at each one of these cards. This is the Fool, and I'm noticing right away that she included many of the traditional symbols. So you have the white rose. You can see, look, over her shoulder, she's got the knapsack with the bag. Here's the little dog. So it's definitely, and there's the mountains behind her. So it still has the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith imagery. You just might have to look a little closer because it is a very busy card, which I like. I think it's really pretty. So we have the Fool. Here we have the Magician, and here is all of his different things. We got the coins here. We have the cups. Where's my swords? Am I missing it? So I'm sure that in the book, it tells you why she chose a deck of cards here instead of putting the swords and the wands on the deck. But we have things like wheat and a red rose here, and we have the bonfire in the lower right corner. So it's going to be really, and the doves. So it's going to be really fun to look at the guidebook and find out why these different items were chosen per card. The High Priestess. We still have the Torah here. Here's our pillars. They're blue and red. The moon is still down here at the bottom. And each one of these cards look like they have bonfire. The Empress. So we have a little baby gestating out of this tree on the side. We have her crown of stars. We have the wheat. The pomegranate, the Emperor, the Hierophant. He still has his fingers up. We still have the pillars on each side. Here's the keys, the two supplicants. Then we have the Lovers, the Chariot. Look, they chose, she put bulldogs in there, a black and white bulldog. Oh my gosh, how cute. I love puppy dogs. Strength. Oh, I was like, here's his teeth. His mouth is open. That's what it is. I was like, where's the lion? It's there. The Hermit. The Wheel of Fortune. Notice on this Wheel of Fortune, there's a lady with her eyes blindfolded. Very interesting. We still have all the same symbols. We have the eagle and the lion and the bull. And where's the snake? Oh, there's the snake. Interesting. Oh, I like this. Justice. Here's the scales. The Hanged Man. Somebody took a bite of that apple. Death. Temperance. Notice that she's pouring from her forehead something that is holding the liquid from her forehead into a cup instead of holding them side by side. Interesting. The Devil. Look at this devil. She's smoking a cigarette and she's chained to him. And there's money down here. The Tower. It's like a close-up of the tower. Like you're seeing it from the top down. This is the top of the tower. So all you're seeing is the feet of the person. And there's cards flying over here. We got a bell. I wonder what the umbrella means. Very interesting. The Star. The Moon. The Sun. We have two people in the sun instead of the baby riding the horse. I don't see a horse. We still have the sunflowers. We still have the wall. See, the wall is back there. So we still have a lot of the same imagery. Judgment. And the World. Then we go to the wands. And I did notice when I was looking at these that the wands have pine cones at the end of it. So it's awesome. I love it. So this is the Ace of Wands, the Two of Wands, Three of Wands. It's almost like you're the person. It's almost like a first person view. The Four of Wands. So they're waiting to celebrate. They got crowns on their heads. Nice. The Five of Wands. Looks like she's yelling at her and she's got her hand up like, ugh, not even gonna. Bye, Felicia. Six of Wands. Seven of Wands. Eight of Wands. It's still the traditional of those wands flying through the air, but it's got those cool pine cones on it, and all of them are on fire. It's great. Nine of Wands. Yeah, he's got a little cut on his head. He doesn't have the bandage around his head like the original. So now we're at the Page. So Page of Wands. Knight of Wands. Queen of Wands. Oh, I love that she's wearing this top hat. That's great. And then there's the kitty. It's kind of like wrapped over her shoulder. And the King of Wands. Now we're at the Swords. I wonder if this one's going to have anything special on it, like the pine cones in the last one. I wonder if the swords will. So let's find out. So Ace of Swords, Two of Swords. It's like she's holding a, what is that? What is it called? Where it's got the sand in it and it keeps time? I don't remember it. The Three of Swords. I really like this image of the Three of Swords. It's like this heart is the sail to the ship, and the girl is part of the ship, and then the swords are piercing the veil that makes the ship move forward. Very, very interesting. Four of Swords. So instead of laying and inside that little temple thing, where he's laying down and resting. She's resting by taking a bubble bath. So that is fantastic. Oh, so 5 of Swords. Look, you got, this is the actual fight. This isn't the aftermath of the fight where one person has won and the other person has lost. Actually, it looks like both of these guys have actually lost, because here we have a girl in the background with her back facing away from them. So maybe they're fighting over her. Silly boys. 6 of Wands. 7 of, I'm sorry, I said Wands. 6 of Swords. 7 of Swords. I love this shirt that he's wearing, and it looks like there's like, look at the fur that's coming out of his chest. It's like this animal is coming out of his back, or out of him. 8 of Swords. That's a beautiful one. She's sitting lotus here on the beach with the swords surrounding her. So same imagery, just different look to it. 9 of Swords. 10 of Swords. Different angle. So we still have the guy laying on the beach with all the swords in his back, but it's a different angle where it's like you're laying on the beach with him, looking at him. We have the Page of Swords. Are they falling from a tree or being lifted up by these? Interesting. Knight of Swords. So we have the action happening with the horse. Queen of Swords. And King of Swords. Look at that little baby in his arms. Now we're into the cups. So this is the Ace of Cups. 2 of Cups. Looks very similar to the Lovers, doesn't it? Very curious. Now I'm going to have to go look. So there we have the Lovers and the 2 of Cups. Very similar. It'd be easy to get these two mixed up. Luckily, the Lovers is very prominent. Kind of wish they hadn't made it about actual lovers, because there's so much more meaning to the 2 of Cups than just this kind of relationship. I mean, it's about making connections, etc., etc. So very interesting. Very interesting. Where am I at? So I picked this up and flipped it over. There we go. I didn't want to mess them up. Okay, so we're back to the 3 of Cups. 4 of Cups. Oh, I like this 4 of Cups. So instead of the guy sitting in front of the tree with his arms crossed, she's actually like laying down with her hand in the water, the trees behind her, and there's the cups. It's like they're behind her, and she's just turned her back on it. She doesn't even want to look. And it's the tree is holding the cup and like offering the cup to her. Very awesome. We have the 5 of Cups, so a different angle. I love these different angles on these cards. So here we have the cups that have poured out, but the ones that are still standing, and it looks like they're really distraught there. A lot of sadness built into that face. Very good use of colors. 6 of Cups. 7 of Cups. Oh, wow. Look at these balloons. So hot air balloons, and then all the different choices. Nothing like having your head in the clouds. Really, seriously, what a great example of that. Then we have the 8 of Cups. So we're traditional, walking away, just a different angle. 9 of Cups. Oh, look at all this stuff that they have. All of those cups behind them still sitting there, but all of these things as well. That is full contentment right there. 10 of Cups. Everybody's 10 of Cups can look different. It doesn't have to be that traditional family, but there's a nice picnic going on, and everybody's drinking some tea with the beautiful rainbow and the house in the background. That is wonderful. Okay, we've got the Page of Cups, so we still have the fish in the cup. Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups, and King of Cups. Lastly, we have the coins. So this is the pentacles, and so they call them coins in this one. So Ace of Coins, Two of Coins. He's still balancing and juggling those two. We have the Three of Coins, Four of Coins, Five of Coins, Six of Coins, Seven of Coins, Eight of Coins. Mastery, look at, she's painting the coins. Nine of Coins, so she's standing in the garden, she's got her bird there. And 10 of Coins. Oh, look at those clothes on the clothesline. That's fantastic. And then we have the Page of Coins, the Knight of Coins, the Queen of Coins, and the King of Coins. Oh my gosh, I love this deck. This deck is great. This deck is fantastic. I'm going to do the flipping through. I want to show you what these cards look like next to a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith so that you can see the things that match in them, and kind of like I like to look at those to have it in my brain of what is the same between the cards so that I can make that leap to the new type of image. So let's do that next. Okay, now let's look and see how these shuffle, because these cards, like, this is the size of a mini or a pocket sized. So they're bigger than a pocket sized, but they're smaller than an oracle. So see how much room. But then this is, oops, I put the wrong card over there. But then it is shorter than a traditional and not as wide. So see how there's that overlap, or wider, sorry, wider. So it's shorter, but a little bit wider. So I don't know the exact dimensions of it, but it's definitely a different size. So I'm not sure how that's actually going to shuffle. So let's just split this in half and let's see if I can riffle shuffle it. I don't know. I can't bend these at all. So this deck is not made to riffle shuffle, but we could do some waterfalls. And it definitely can do a hand over hand. So that's good. And then let's see what it looks like if we were to do a spread, like a 3-card spread. Zoom in a little bit. Can't quite get this right. So it definitely makes a beautiful 3-card spread. Now, if you are a person that does not like very busy cards, like, you're not going to like this. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in these cards. Yeah, definitely a lot of stuff going on in these cards. But I like it. I actually really, really like it. Let's pull the 4 of coins and see what it says in the book. Let's do a reading from the book and see how the book reads. Okay. So we're looking for 4 of coins. And these are kind of long entries, so I don't think I want to read the whole thing to you, but I'll read some of it. Okay, 4 of coins. Hard work for little reward. Find time to make changes, acceptance, and compromise. Paralyzed and not in the flow. Hard-won home efforts, unable to receive praise. So these look like single lines. So these are like divinational, quick divinational right here. So that's what that top is. Let's read a little bit of what the Bonefire says. Making of the 4 of coins was very personal. The man in the tree is my husband. Ah, very cool. I did not crown him as one of the kings of the decks, but had I, he would have been a blend of all the royal cups with a Wendy vibe. I picked him for the 4 since at the time of painting, he was stuck in a job for which he was utterly unsuited, though he did it very well. He earned exactly the right amount of money to ensure that he could not make any changes, and had no time left to think it over. As such, I did not see the card as depicting a minster, but rather a person whose position in life and their assumed responsibilities had them trapped in a prison of their own making, but not of their choice. Oh, wow. I like it when they get personal. So I'm going to skip forward. And so the symbols in it are apple, cross keys, lock, moon, ring, and river. So we would find all of those in the card itself. I like it. I think I love this deck. Wow, this is really good. Really, really good. I'm so glad I got it. Another deck to add to my list of all the decks that I want to do deep dive studies on and start learning and using. I'm gonna have to stop buying decks and just start studying. That's what I'm gonna have to do. So I think, as a summary to this, I think this is a fantastic deck. If you're okay with a lot of artwork and the brighter colors of the deck, I think you're gonna like it as well. I think that it has enough similarities to Rider-Waite-Smith. If you know Rider-Waite-Smith, you can jump in and you can start using it right away with no problem. And then if you're like me and you want to learn more about why did she choose the different items that she put in it, give me the background story of the type of the card that she drew, and why did she draw it like that. You could do a deep dive on it and learn more by reading the guidebook. So I love this. This is a great summer deck. I really love this deck. I'm really happy to have it in my collection. Okay, well, until next time, I appreciate you all. You guys have a great 4th of July. And until next time, bye.